You know, I look out at you and it's a very diverse crowd. Express myself and have things to say and everyone will care about them. No one gives a shit what we think. So we flock to performers by the thousands because we're the few that have found an audience, and then I'm supposed to get up here and say, follow your dreams, as if this is a meritocracy. It is not, okay? I had a privileged life, and I got lucky, and I'm unhappy.
Yo, how's it going everybody? Ray here. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that's been recently influencing me, and that topic of course is the topic of adulthood, and really this transition period between being a young teen to a young adult, which some people might have struggles sort of facing and, you know, handling everything, and that's what I'm currently going through, so that's what I want to address. But before I start, I want to give a quick shout out to GameCam. Just huge props to him for organizing a rally call, and if you haven't checked it out, I made a highlights video. That was my previous video, and I just had a blast meeting Funk, talking to the guys on my team and to everyone else, and it was just an awesome event pretty much. And props to him, you know, as a smaller channel, for really getting everyone sort of set up, because I don't know many people in the TF2 community that actually have that ability and that sort of go for these more spontaneous things and things that take a lot of time to plan out, and you know, getting everyone there to begin with. And it's really nice that everyone turned up, so thanks for sitting through my little promotion. I recommend you go check his channel. So what's been happening is that, well, I'm currently moving, and a lot of people do know that, but the thing about moving is that it puts so many things into perspective. And even though I haven't lived in the city I'm currently in for a while, it made me think, well, what have I accomplished so far with my life, you know, because I am turning 18 on December 18, which is nifty, it's all good, but I'm also getting a job next month in August, and that really puts so much weight, you know, it puts such a different kind of weight where, you know, up until this point, it's like, it's very linear, you know, you go to high school, you do your homework, you come home, and then you're pretty much done. It's just a repeating cycle. And the thing about being younger, and if you are in this position, you know, what I would tell you is just cherish your time, you know, being young, because you have that innocence, and that innocence that you do have, you know, a lot of people don't really tackle you for it. They don't really come at you because it's like a shield, you know, where, oh, you're young, so it's okay if you do this. You basically get free passes. But as you get older, and as you know, quite literally become an adult and past the age of majority, even though it's not 21, but still, okay, you know what, mate, you know what, it's still something. When you pass that age, there are certain expectations, certain things you have to abide by. And what happens with video gaming and what happens with YouTube, or at least for me, is that it makes you question, well, how are other people gonna look at me now, you know, now that I do this stuff? Because it's like, there's a whole different skill ceiling now that you have to push through, just like they say in 22 Jump Street.
Dude, your ceiling is like so high. You can just bust right
Just break right through it.
right through it.
And I do agree that, you know, you have to keep the child inside you alive, and a lot of people say that, and that's the argument to a lot of things. But at the same time, you don't want to be seen as sort of someone that refuses to grow up, you know what I mean, refuses to adapt to situations, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, confront the situation where you have people saying, well, when are you gonna quit? Or if you're playing a video game, well, yeah, but when are you gonna quit it? When are you just gonna move on? And that's something that I'm struggling with, you know, moving on from something, because it's sort of like, at what point do you quit one thing and just begin another thing? Because to me, TF2, YouTube, even streaming back when I used to do it, I don't do it now because I don't have the computer I used to have back when I was in India, and I can't do it. I had people ask me, when are you going to stream? Are you doing it again? And now I'm in a position where I have to pretty much just save up for my own computer by myself, which is good because I'm getting a job in construction, which, you know, pays pretty well, and it's good for a first job. But the point is, I also have to save up for other things like a car and pay my other bills, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to even afford my own computer. And I had a Patreon. Most people don't know, I had a Patreon open for, you know, a brief period of time, and then I didn't close it. I just don't advertise it, and I don't put the link anywhere because I realized it was kind of a mistake. As soon as I opened it, I just don't want that kind of attention right now, and it's not, you know, the direction that I want to take my channel in. I don't monetize any of my stuff. And some people might ask, well, you know, you do it takes up a large majority of the time. You said so yourself, so why don't you try and get get some money off it. Well, yeah, I could, but at the same time, why would I want to take money from, hardworking people when I don't really do the same thing myself, even though, I am going into it now. But the point is, I don't want to take that small amount of money where they could probably use it for something way more significant than I would, and to me at least, it wouldn't even add up to something quite significant because I don't have that many subs and I don't have a lot of traction to my channel, but I still do it because I always believe that, if I make a mistake doing something, at least I can tell that to people, and hopefully, maybe you can avoid it, and that's what my intent is. And at the same time, I've had a lot of times in my life where I thought to myself, well, I'm probably the only one going through this, and I know it's silly, but we all have these moments, I would think, where we think we're alone, and I want to be that person to say, hey, you're not. And speaking of this, through high school, I basically didn't like many subjects in school. I, didn't find myself being good at math, especially math, but I couldn't really get attracted to many subjects except drama, I think, in grade 8, and that was pretty much it, and most of the times when I did do well in school, I did well because I had to, because of course it would add up to getting a better job in the future. But then I realized when I grew older, I lost a lot of that motivation, and I've made a lot of commentaries talking about this back when it was happening, and that was just because, you grow up to have different perspectives and different outlooks on things, and to me, the outlook I had didn't match up with what I was doing, if that makes any sense, and that's why you lose motivation, not because you don't want the grades, but because you're thinking to yourself, it's just material, and I couldn't even get myself to read some of this stuff. Now I bought 2 books. I bought Shane Dawson's I Hate My Selfie because, okay, well, some people might say, oh my god, Ray, but it's a decent book. I like it. I just thought it would give me something to relate to, and that's great. That's always good, because relating to other people in a way makes you feel better about yourself, and hey, you're not alone. So I bought that, and then I bought Sign Language by Jerry Seinfeld, and it's pretty good. I haven't started that one yet, but I need to get more of a handle on reading because I'm going to university, not this year, but next year, and I will be doing a lot of that there. And in terms of university, I still don't really know what I want to pursue. I'm going to criminology, I think, but I don't know if I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm going to college, not university, but anyway, that's basically what's been up with me, and how this whole thing ties into the theme of adulthood. It's just that you get to an age where you have to start prioritizing different things, and then it makes the things you love doing much harder to actually do, because YouTube right now for me is a hobby, but the thing about hobbies is that they don't always get you where you want to be, you know what I mean? Like, YouTube right now for me is a hobby, and to be fair, that's probably all it's ever going to be, because to actually make it on YouTube, it doesn't matter what your content is, it doesn't matter if it's good or not, it really doesn't, and it's kind of weird for me to say, but it doesn't, because people don't give a shit at the end of the day. If it's something that catches your attention for a brief second, whether that be a clickbait or thumbnail or clickbait title, and if that in the end gets you the revenue stream that you want and that basically pays you the bills at the end of the day, you can just live off doing the dumbest stuff. And I have a playlist of liked videos, the stuff that I like, that's on my channel. I've reorganized a bunch of things, and I have playlists designated to certain things that I've done. But the point is, the stuff that I watch on YouTube, I can't say I'm proud of watching a lot of that stuff, because it is dumb stuff, but it gets your attention, and if it's entertaining, it doesn't matter. Point is, it's difficult to make it on here, and honestly, luck is the only thing I think that, it's kind of weird for me to say, but if you don't get lucky and, the right amount of people don't notice you, or the right amount of people just don't give your channel enough traction, there's a lot of people, there's people I remember making videos that I loved watching, not just TF2, but other videos as well. Well, I guess it was mostly TF2, like, I don't know if you guys even remember Seppi TF2, but point is, he quit, and he quit because of life, but point is, those kinds of people that made quality content just end up quitting because they don't have the motivation to continue, because it sucks when people don't notice your stuff, like Crit Hammer, Silent Fury, my TF2 friends. I wish they'd get more traction, but I think it's lucky that I even made it to 1K subs, you know what I mean? I hit my keyboard there if you heard that, but Point is, it's all about luck. Nowadays, very little skill. You know, you don't need much skill. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. And, you know, with growing up and stuff, you just start looking at things differently, and, you know, things that appeal to you don't really anymore. And if you, you know, keep doing the things that make you happy, you know, then people start judging you because, hey, you're not out there getting a job. So in the meantime, that's what I'm going to be doing. But, you know, I'm going to keep doing this because YouTube right now is one of the only things that's really appealing to me in my life, and I get comments from a lot of people saying, hey, you know, just give it up. I mean, it's a hobby, not give it up, but it's a hobby, so don't pour so much time into it. And if you want my opinion, you know, pouring your time into something, even if it's just a hobby, that's really what's going to be taking your engagement in the activity to your next level, and that's what I'm trying to do. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave some comments, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.
You just make it funny, make it rhyme. And if they still don't understand you, then you will run it one more time. Thinking I can handle this right. Handle this right. Handle this right. But you don't even know the half of this right now. Right now. Handle this right. I'll handle this right. Handle this right now. Thank you. Good night. I hope you're happy.